Are you someone who's interested in tracking your health and wellness through a smartwatch, but just really aren't someone who wears a watch? You wish that there was just a different way. Well, Aura's Ring Generation 3 lasts for several days and captures data just sitting on your finger without thinking much about it. ZDNet's Matt Miller has been testing out this ring for us. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. I've got a coworker that swears by the Oura Ring, and he's like, "You got to get one of these. You got to get one of these." And I thought, yeah, that seems pretty interesting. I don't really know. I know it tracks your sleep. I don't know what else it does. And then the Aura folks reached out to test the latest generation. And the first step in the process is they send you this ring fitting kit, right? And you try on all the different rings. I have kind of fat fingers. So I was up at the size 12 or size 13 ring, which is as big as it goes. And they recommend that you put it on your index finger or middle finger. I've got kind of beat up knuckles from rugby days. And so my knuckles are kind of big. The 13 would kind of fit, but when I put it on my index finger, I couldn't bend my finger all the way and it wasn't very comfortable. So I went with my ring finger. It's not the recommended finger, but the key is they want a finger that is pretty uniform all the way down. And my ring finger kind of is. They don't want you to put it on a finger where it gets big at the knuckle and then smaller, because you've got to maintain that contact all the way around at the base of your finger, right? So if you have too big of a ring that fits over your knuckle, but then it's too roomy. So that's important. So they send you this, and they do this for everybody. When you first order one, they send you the sizing kit. You try it on. You're supposed to wear it for 24 hours or more on any different finger that you're thinking of. So you make sure you get a good fit, because then you can't change it or adjust it afterwards. You need a ring that fits. It's available in silver and glossy black for $299, and then a gold color, and then a matte black. And I probably can't see it here, but I chose the matte black one. It's a very modern look to it, right? And that one is $399. So there's $100 price difference between the two. And it's probably can't see, but maybe in my review. So it's round, but there is a flat section on one side of it. Otherwise, it's round with three kind of sensor things that poke out in the inside. It's super lightweight, just a few grams. It's actually lighter than my wedding ring. Made out of titanium, so it shouldn't deform or have any problems and stuff. But the thing that's amazing to me, just to looking at the form factor, is this is just a ring, right? It's very small, and it's amazing that it gets about a week of battery life. And this is the charger for it. It's simply a little stand. You just set the ring down on top of it and then plug it in, and it charges it wirelessly. But once a week, with all the sensors that are in there, just continues to blow me away that that's possible. So it's tracking, your heart rate, your sleep tracking. It has a temperature sensor in there. It's really primarily focused on tracking your sleep and then your heart rate throughout the day. It comes up with a readiness score in the application that lets you know you've been too stressed out. Your readiness score is 50. Maybe consider a walk today. Whereas your readiness score is 85. Get out and go for a run or whatever. So it kind of guides you that way. The app also will track your sleep, right? And then I get these little notifications. It's about a half hour until you should be going to sleep to get your optimal readiness score. So there's a little bit of coaching, which is kind of nice on, yeah, you should probably go to sleep right now, to recover to where you need to and all that kind of stuff. So that's been kind of nice. I love, the biggest thing is you just wear it and you just don't even think about it, right? And, like you had mentioned in the intro, some people don't like to wear a watch. Watches generally, for the most part, last a day to 2 days if it's a smart watch, maybe a week or longer. But that's another thing to charge up and stuff. And the ring just sits there and captures data. You don't have to think about anything. It just does it, without you even knowing. And that's all great. I'm just still trying to get a feel for, is that valuable? Is that data valuable enough for me to use? And there's the initial cost, but then there's also a $6 a month subscription. So there is a subscription model for this. One thing on the subscription is if you had a previous Oura Ring, when you buy one, you get a subscription for life for free, because they're kind of honoring the people that were with them in the early days and and honoring that commitment to them to get this free subscription, which is nice. Um, there's a smartphone application that comes with it, syncs up. You can view the data, see trends, all that kind of stuff. The thing is, everything's pretty much locked in that software, right? It does sync with Google Fit or Apple Health. Google Fit on an Android isn't that powerful of a software. I don't have an iPhone right now, so I haven't tested the Apple Health, but usually Apple Health is a pretty comprehensive software. So Apple and iPhone users may see more benefit of the Oura Ring syncing that data to Apple Health. As Google Fit, I don't see much benefit to that. So the data is kind of locked in there, So if I do wear the Oura Ring, that's just set up to mainly track my sleep and basic activity. And I just kind of use that as a standalone with my, fitness trackers and things like that separately.
Okay, so what is your favorite feature about this ring, or your favorite thing about this ring that stands out compared to all of the other sport watches that you test out?
It's simply the form factor. Not having to wear a watch and just wearing a ring, because there's no alarms, right? It's not going to vibrate on your finger to wake you up. There's no notifications. It's just it's almost like the old, maybe you don't recall these, but there used to be little teeny Fitbits that you would clip onto your belt way back in the day of early Fitbits. And I used to have a Jawbone Up, for example, that was a bracelet thing you wore. Those just sat and captured data. And this just sits and captures data. You don't have to think about it. And it's very unobtrusive because it's just a ring. Most people would look at it and just think you have, there's a lot of people wearing silicon rings nowadays and modern rings and stuff for work. It just looks like one of those, so it's really about the form factor.
I do remember those days where you just clipped the little Fitbit onto your pants and you wore it all day and it tracked your steps, and it was just really simple and straightforward. I do remember that. So last question. I understand that there are some features that haven't been released yet. What's Aura bringing to the table in 2022?
Yeah, that's kind of if you were to go visit some forums and things, that's kind of the big thing that people are like, well, I have the Aura Ring too. This one, the form factor is the same. They're like, what is the difference? I mean, it's pretty much doing the same thing for the most part that the current ring is doing. So maybe they released it a little bit early before all of these 2022 updates are coming, but there are things coming that will make it better, right? One of them is blood oxygen, and we've heard a lot about, SpO2, blood oxygen monitoring, pulse oximeter. That has been popular because of COVID, right? You kind of watch your blood oxygen. If it drops below 90 or something like that, if it drops, I think most people are usually in the 95 plus range. If it drops too low for too long, then, there's some indications that you're in some trouble with COVID or something like that. So blood oxygen has become a very popular metric, and that's coming in an update. Which will be a great addition. Also, they're going to, right now, it will track your activity all day long, and it shows the heart rate, right? It shows your heart rate through everything. But when you're in a workout, right, you go for a run or you go to the gym and things like that, it doesn't really differentiate that. So workout heart rate is coming in 2022. And that's a big thing too, because that's something that maybe then Google Fit or Apple Health, that means a little bit more to actually have that workout heart rate tracked specifically. And then it does track sleep right now. It gives you some sleep stages and things, but the 2022 update is coming out with improvements in that sleep to help you fully understand a little bit more about your sleep patterns and your sleep practices and things like that. So those three updates are actually pretty major, and it kind of set the ring apart. Just be patient. It's coming, right? So the one thing is, when you do buy the ring, it does come with 6 months of the free subscription. So even if you buy it now, knowing that those updates might be coming in 6 months, you're not necessarily paying for a subscription you're not using. Yeah. So.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for testing this out. I think it's an interesting concept to break away from the watches. but still be able to wear something pretty easily and get a lot of data and fitness information. As always, we have links down below to make it super easy for you to find this device. If you're using this or a past Oura Ring, we'd love to hear about your experience. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and stick with ZDNet for all things tech.